Hello, mathematicians. Today we are going to review rounding and we're going to learn how to round to the nearest hundred. So remember, if it's 4 or less, let it rest. Or if it's 5 or more, let it soar and you'll round up. So the first thing you're going to do with a number, so I'm going to use this example up here, 431. So the first thing you're going to do is underline the digit in the rounding place. So if you're rounding to the hundreds, you're going to underline the digit in the hundreds place. So with the number 431, you would underline the 4 because that is in the hundreds place. Step 2 is circle the next digit to the right. So the digit next to the 4 is the 3, which is in the tens place. So I'm going to circle that. And then step 3 is follow the rounding rules. And remember, the rounding rules is 4 or less, let it rest, which means you would round down. 5 or more, let it soar, which means round down. So I know 3 is less than 4, so that means I'm going to let it rest and round down. So then step 4 is change all digits to the right of the rounding place to 0. So all of the digits to the right of the 4, I would change to a 0. So 431 would become 400 because I'm rounding to the hundreds place. So 431 rounded to the nearest hundred is 400. All right, so we're going to do a few more examples. So the next example is 689. So remember, the first step is, I know I'm rounding to the hundreds, nearest hundred, so I'm going to underline the 6 because I know that's in the hundreds place. And then I'm going to circle the digit to the right, which is an 8. And I'm going to look at it, and I know 8 is greater than 5, so I know I need to round up. So 689 is going to become 700 because I changed the 6 to a 7 and all the other digits become a 0. So 689 rounds up to 700. All right, the next example is 254. So remember, the first step is underline the digit where you are rounding. So if you're rounding to the nearest hundred, you need to underline the hundreds place. Next, I look at the digit to the right and circle it. And if it's 5 or more, let it soar. So I know this is a 5, so that means I'm going to round up. So the 2 will become a 3, and then all the other digits to the right of it will become a 0. So 254 rounds up to 300. All right, the next number we're going to look at is 740. This one's tricky because it's already rounded to the nearest 10, but we want it rounded to the nearest 100. So I'm going to underline the digit in the hundreds place, circle the digit in the tens place to the right, and follow the rounding rule. So I see this as 4 or less, so I'm going to round down. So the 7 will stay the same, and all the other digits will become a 0. So 740 rounds down to 700 because it is 4 or less. And then the last number we're going to look at is 500. And numbers like this are tricky because you have to be careful and pay attention. This number is already rounded to the nearest hundred because both digits, the digit in the tens place and the digit in the ones place, is already a 0. So you know it's already rounded to the nearest hundred. So 500 would stay the same. It's already rounded to the nearest hundred. So now what you're going to do is you're going to swipe to the next page and you're going to complete the seesaw activity. Thank you for watching.